before starting to draw the histogram, we have to check whether the class intervals are continuous or non-continuous. When we look at this, it is obvious. Starting from 2, end up at 12. Next interval is starting from 14 and 24. This is a non-continuous class interval. So what you have to do as first, find the correction factor. That means first class intervals. What is the difference between first class intervals upper limit and second class intervals lower limit? The difference between these two would be 14 minus 12. 14 minus 12, it is 2. Since each class interval has two limits, lower limit and upper limit. Both are having lower limit and upper limit. That's why the correction factor would be 2 divided by 2, it is 1. Okay, correction factor. First we found the distance difference between these two. Okay, that is 2. 2 should be divided by 2. Why? Because each class interval has two limits, lower limit and upper limit. That's why we found the correction factor as 1. Thereafter, what you need to do? You have to create one more column in the same table. That would be the continuous class interval column. So to find continuous class interval column, I will mark that one here. Continuous class. So thereafter, the continuous class interval. Continuous class intervals. To find that, what you have to do? From the lower limit, you have to subtract the particular correction factor. With this, you have to subtract 1. With this, you should add 1. Here, subtract 1, add 1. Same thing is applicable for all intervals. Negative 1, here, add 1. Minus 1, here, plus 1. Now, let's write our continuous class interval 2 minus 1. It would be 1 to 13. 1 to 13. Next one, 14 minus 1. It would be 13 to 25. Thereafter, 25 to 37. Next one, 37 to 49. Last one would be 49 to 61. Okay. Now, the class intervals became continuous. We did our job correctly. First, we found the difference between these two. Divide that by 2 to find the correction factor. So, find the correction factor, subtract from the lower intervals in all, lower limits in all class intervals, add with the upper limit in all class interval to produce new column for continuous class interval. Thereafter, by using continuous class interval, this one and frequency, we can easily plot to represent our data in a histogram. Plan the histogram in the horizontal axis 1 to 13, 13, 25. Likewise, in vertical axis, you have to note the frequency. Here, this also not starting from 0. So definitely you have to use a small heartbeat kind of shape. Okay, ECG heartbeat kind of shape to indicate this is histogram is not starting from 0. Just little away from 0. 1 to 13, 13 to 13, yes, 25, 25, 37, 37, 49, 49 to 61. These are our class intervals. And in vertical axis, it would be frequency. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's enough. 1 to 8, that is enough. And let's mark our axis. 1 to 13, the height of the column, it would be 7. So, second column would be 13 to 25. The frequency is 3. Okay. Third interval frequency, that is 4. This is your this. And 37 to 49, the height is 8, the highest one. Then 49 to 61, it would be 6. Yeah, yeah. Okay. That's all for the construction of histogram. Well, the class intervals 8 to 12, 13 to 17, 18 to 22, 23 to 27, 28, 32, 33, 37, last 38, 42. We have to find the continuous class interval. The frequencies would be 4, 6, 15, again 15, 10, 7, 3. Okay. So what is the difference between this lower limit and this upper limit? That is 1. Okay. The difference between 13 and 12, it is 1. So 1 should be divided by number 2. Each interval has 2 limits. That's why it is divided by 2. So the correction factor, I will make it as uh, correction factor. Not write it as CF. CF means cumulative frequency. In statistics, CF means cumulative frequency. So correction factor, COF, likewise you can note 0.5. From the lower limit, you should subtract 0.5. With the upper limit, you should add 0.5. 8 minus 0.5, it would be 7.5. 12 plus 12.5, it is 12.5. Then here subtraction 12.5, 17.5, then 17.5, 22.5, 23 minus zero point 0.5, it is 22.5, then plus 0 point 0.5, it is 27.5, again 27.5, 32.5, thereafter 32.5, 37.5, 37.5, and 42.5. Okay, now the class intervals became continuous. Thereafter, we can plan the axis properly to plot the histogram. Likewise, 23 minus 0.5, it would be 22.5. 27 plus 0.5, 27.5. 28 minus 0.5, it would be 27.5. 32 plus 0.5, it is 32.5. 33 minus 0.5, it is 32.5. 37 plus 0.5, 37.5. Finally, 38 minus 0.5, the correction factor, it is 37.5. 42 plus 0.5, it would be 42.5. That's all about our continuous class intervals. Now let's plan the axis. Okay, so the minimum is 7.5. That means not starting from 0 onwards. So here, just make this mark. Thereafter, starting from 7.5, then 12.5, 17.5, 22.5, 27.5, 32.5, 37.5. Finally, here, name the axis. This is continuous class interval. If not, you can use and in vertical axis frequency. So the frequency is starting, the minimum is 3, maximum is 15. So I will make like this.
Can you explain it?
Now the axes are clear. Thereafter we can mark our vertical axis. 3 and 15. So I will mark like this. Okay, not 1, 2, 3. Likewise, if you want, you can note like that one as well. 3, 6, 9, 12 and 15. For my convenience, I will note like this. Okay, I will note like this for my convenience. Otherwise, I want to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until 15. It is little harder for me, so I make it little simpler. Now let's plot the axis. So first axis would be this one, continuous class interval and frequency. This is the thing we have to consider. From 7.5 to 12.5, the frequency is 4. So that means little above 3. Little above 3. And next one, 12.5 to 17.5, it is 6. So exactly at 6, you can make your bar. And next one, 17.5 to 22.5, it is 15, the highest one. Next one also 15 as well, 22.5 to 27.5. Thereafter 27.5 to 32.5, it would be 10. That means little above 9. Thereafter 32.5 to 37.5, 7. Little above 6. And then 37.5 to 42.5, it would be 3. Exactly at here you can mark. Okay. This would be the construction of our histogram. I'll repeat this once more from the beginning. The class intervals are not continuous. Find the correction factor, and with the lower class, from the lower class interval, subtract that correction factor, and with the upper class limit, you should add to make another column with continuous class interval. Continuous class interval versus frequency, you can plot your histogram. That's all.